want to refresh your memories with what we discussed last time in English? Or do you just miss me? This is the perfect place for you. This is the first of its kind in St. Jude. This is the English vlog. And of course, this is your ultimate guide in English too. Well, basically, we will just have to go back to what we discussed last time, and you'll be hearing it and you'll be seeing it here live. No, not really live, but pre-taped for 5 minutes here in the English video log. Well, I hope you still get to remember this one. Well, I have here a bottle of wine, and it will always remind us with what we discussed last time, the poem written by Libo, Drinking Alone Beneath the Moon. Drinking, the common theme of Libo's poem, Libo being a certified drunkard. Well, Drinking Alone Beneath the Moon tells us something about drinking. Libo somehow shares with us his experience in drinking. The first stanza would tell us the reason why people drink. According to the poem, people drink because they are lonely or because they are alone. The second stanza would give us the effect of drinking to Libo. For Libo, every time he drinks, he would feel this certain degree of excitement, a certain degree of happiness. And to a certain extent, at the latter part of the stanza, we would notice that, well, there is an ounce of craziness in what he was doing. At the end of the poem, it tells us that we do not drink forever, that it has a limitation. There will come a time when we would feel the need to stop drinking. And that's when we say goodbye. We say goodbye to our friends. We say goodbye to the bottle of wine. Here is another way of looking at the poem. Let's try to dig deeper. The poem discusses a very common state of being. A state of being which every one of us experiences, and that is depression. Every one of us feels depression, experiences being sad. But the poem tells us that when we are depressed, we do not just resort to drinking, but something deeper than drinking. In the poem, drinking can symbolize reflecting, or the act of drinking can symbolize a moment of reflection. That every time we experience depression, it is an opportunity for us to reflect. And when we reflect, the poem would like us to remember the three things. These things, or should I say these things which can be found on the poem. What are these? First, the bottle of wine, which would remind us of the influences that we have in our lives. Second would be the moon and the flowers, which would symbolize hope and the guides that we have in our lives. And finally, these influences and these guides and hopes would boil down to the shadow. The shadow which in turn would symbolize our actions. So when we reflect, again, let us be reminded of our bottle of wine, our influences, our moon and the flowers, which would symbolize our hopes and our guides, and finally, our shadow. Our shadow which would tell us, or which would symbolize our actions. And that is Drinking Alone Beneath the Moon, a poem that does not only discuss drinking, but it would also remind us that when we are depressed, it would be a great opportunity for us to reflect and to ponder on these things. Drinking alone beneath the moon. a poem by Libo. And so that wraps up our English video log for the week. And well, see you again next time for another English video log.